have on the agenda. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the agenda. Item 2.2. Let's see, September 26, 2024, Board of Education Tax Hearing Levy. I'm going to turn it to you guys.
Do we need to approve?
Oh,
the
sorry.
agenda?
Okay. Can I please have a motion to approve agenda item 2.2?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
To present our proposed tax levy for the district tonight. As you know, we have to set this rate by October 1st of each year. The tax rate that is set tonight will fund the 2024-25 school year, the fiscal year that we're currently in. These funds will be received in the December-January timeframe for the most part. Dan has done a lot of work to calculate our tax rate, and I'm going to let him present his calculations.
Good evening. So we have a quick presentation. Thank you. In the last 10 years, at 3.8826. And then down there in the bottom right, you can kind of see the shifts. The first transition of Proposition 3, where debt service decreased, and then it moved it up into the capital fund. So again, Proposition 3, this is our first year of the transition. So we moved 36 cents is being transferred this year from debt service to the capital fund. And then next year, will be coming back as part of the 2025 tax rate setting, completing that transition with the remaining 18 cents from debt service to capital fund. And at that point, we will have a remaining debt service levy of 14 cents beginning in 2026, which will be enough to satisfy any of our remaining general obligation bonds that we have. So the promises kept through Proposition 3. This is the first year of the phase-in, which has been kept. And you can see here how that transition happened, where we are moving it from the decrease in debt service and increasing it penny for penny to the capital projects fund. So overall, again, 3.8826 tax rate. And this is just a summary of our capital projects fund. Just a reminder, we have two, even though it gets reported as one capital projects fund, it's made up of two funds. We have our capital projects of 8 cents going in there, which covers the fix on failure budget, day-to-day capital item needs, and then 36 cents that will go directly into Proposition 3. And then you can see next year, once the transition is complete, the full 54 cents will go in there to satisfy all the items that we've promised under Proposition 3. This is just a recap of our proposed tax rate. This is the breakdown between funds. And then our overall at a 97% collection rate. That is pretty consistent with what we've been seeing the last 4 or 5 years. A number of years ago, we had it as high as 97.5, but just with the latest trends, we're keeping it at 97%. And just to kind of wrap up, our key takeaways is that it continues our way forward objective of being fiscally responsible. We have a small decrease with an overall tax base of $5.4 billion. Our projected revenues generated by this tax continues to support our operational budget. The Proposition 3 promise kept. 36 cents been transferred over from debt service to the capital fund with no overall increase to the tax rate. And just a couple pending items that I know we've talked about in the past that we're going to continue to monitor and update as information comes to us is just the Senate Bill 190 senior property tax freeze. We do know that information has been posted on the St. Louis County's website, so that information application is going to be submitted and the process will be going through, and it looks like it will be effective for next year in 2025. So we'll have more information over the course of the years as we get from the county of how that impacts our operations. Currently, right now, we just don't have any information as they're starting that process. So I think with that, we'll take any questions.
Really quick question. It is my understanding that the county passed budget electronically sent. Is that good news?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Pass the
Great.
The bill. So So they'll get their tax bills out, so we'll get the taxes collected.
Good. And then, Dan, can you go back about 4 slides? The one that shows the difference in the rates. One more. Where it has the 4, nope, go back. One more.
That one?
It has the 4 funds and it shows the difference from year over.
Oh.
Where is it?
This is so we don't have the comparison by the fund on here. Oh, I'm
That
sorry,
one.
here we do. Right
Yes,
here.
that
Yep,
one right
sorry.
there.
Mhm.
So can you just explain, and I asked this earlier, can you explain why the teacher, what's the change in the teacher fund, or
Mhm.
why it looks like that's going backwards?
Yep, good question. So we look at our funds in total, even though by state statute we have a report activity by different funds. With the increase in the basic formula money that we are receiving through the state, because the SAT was increased to 6760, we kind of look at to balance it out, even though we look at it in total, but from a financial reporting standpoint, we look to balance it out. So that's why you're seeing some shift in there. It's essentially just kind of balancing the revenues within each fund and everything. So,
Any other questions? All right, I'm going to read the motion one more time. Okay, it is the motion to adapt the following tax rate levy for the 2024-2025 school year. If after validation by the Missouri State Auditor, the tax rate ceiling allowed is less than